gentlemen. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're joined by Northwestern head coach Chris Collins. We'll start with the opening statement, then we'll take questions.
Yeah, I mean, I thought tonight, man, was just a hard-fought physical battle. Give Purdue credit. Really good team, as we know. A team, in my opinion, that has a chance to maybe win the whole thing. I mean, that's how highly I feel about them. Thought our guys fought really hard. I thought our defense in general was pretty darn good. I think they're the number one efficiency offense in the country, averaging 80-something a game, to hold them to 70, to turn their big guys over 7 times, hold Ivey to 2 for 12. Coming into the game, those are areas that you want to try to do a decent job. You're not going to shut those guys out. But I thought defensively, overall, I was pretty pleased with the job we did. We just didn't shoot the ball very well. I thought give them credit. So some of it, especially in the first half, I thought they sped us up a little bit early. I think we had 7 turnovers at halftime, which is uncharacteristic of us. But in the second half, I thought we executed much better. We just 8 for 28. If you're going to beat Purdue, and a lot of those were wide open looks. I thought we had chances when the game was kind of in the balance. If we make a few of those, it might be a different story. But again, I think we're playing well. This last 5-game stretch, 3-2, the 2 losses to the 2 best teams in the league, 2 teams that might win the national championship, and you play them both to the wire. And we got 25% of our league left. Like that's what I told the guys. You're judged by what you do over 20. Everybody has different schedules. So, everybody kind of goes through the gauntlet at different times. Everybody plays different, home, road, all that. You're judged by what you do over 20. We're 15 in. We still feel we got a lot to play for, and we got an opportunity Saturday to now go on the road and, against everybody in this league's good. So we got an opportunity Saturday to kind of get back on the winning track. But I like how we're playing. We got to shoot the ball a little bit better. We gotta put it in the hole. We gotta make some shots. Not gonna get it done, like I said, shooting 35% against these guys because you got to score. They're such a prolific offensive team. You got to put the ball in the basket. So we gotta iron that out, get that fixed for Saturday afternoon.
Questions right in the middle.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, you said your defense played pretty well. I would agree. And your offense, though, maybe not as what you wanted, missed some wide open looks. Mm-hmm. Did you feel like Purdue was kind of, even though you guys ended up attempting a lot, especially towards the end of the game, Purdue was like trying to really pressure up against you guys and trying to force you to beat them by driving into all their height and kind of like just getting up on you?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how they play. If you watch them play, they do that consistently, and that's where you got to play drive and kickball. That's where, because once you attack the pressure and start getting downhill, they are going to rally to the ball. Their bigs are going to come over, their guys. I thought we did get downhill early. Boo had some of his favorite shots going right, that he just missed a couple of those. And then I thought we did a better job of moving off the penetration. Like, to your point, one of the reasons we got better looks from 3 in the second half was I thought we were moving better, and sharing it and finding open shooters. And we just never could kind of get on a roll there, I thought we had some real momentum threes at times, from different guys that we could just never kind of get that going and put some real game pressure, where conversely they made some big ones. I thought Mason Gillis's threes in the second half were huge. The game was at 6-8, wherever it was. He hits a couple threes. Now it's 12. So now you're fighting uphill. I thought we ran a real nice play out of a timeout. Pete got a dunk to kind of get a little momentum. They came down, and then Stefanovic hit a big 3, right on top of it to push it right back to maybe 11 or 13 or whatever it was. So, they made timely shots, but they're a heck of a team. There's a reason why they're at the top of the league right now, and we got to learn from it. Like I said, I like how we're playing. I think we're playing good ball. We just lost to a good team who made a few more plays than we did tonight.
Coach, you kind of talked about, or you talked about the threes right then. Why do you think Purdue was able to get those open threes? Was it because, they have such a presence in the paint, they're able to have those chances?
Yeah, man. I mean, they put a lot of pressure on you. You got to kind of decide what you want to do. First of all, you got an electric guard in Ivey that's a one-man fast break, and puts a lot of pressure on you off the bounce. So that creates help situations, which then becomes drive and kick. And then you got a two-headed monster inside that those guys cannot really be guarded one-on-one. We gave different looks at them. We trapped them at times. We came with hard digs at times. Tried to keep them off balance. I thought it worked. To a certain extent, they're going to score. I mean, those guys are good. I mean, they combined for 18. Tonight, which if you can hold those two guys combined under 20, I think you've done a pretty good job. But what it's going to do is it's going to open up, some open threes at times, and that's where you got to be a little bit fortunate, where, maybe they're not shooting as well, because you got to pick your poison. If you're all over their 3-point shooters, then now you're playing Edie and Travion one-on-one. You're giving Ivy, all kinds of room to drive the ball and attack. So you got to kind of figure it out. And overall, I thought our defense, to your point, though, I mean, I thought our defense was pretty good. I thought we did some good things on that end. I thought we played really hard. We pretty much played head up on the glass. They only had 7 offensive rebounds. So a lot of the areas we tried to focus on, I thought we did some good things on that end.
Kind of touched on a little bit about picking your poison, and Ivy had an off night. And there's a lot of great flattering comps on him. I've seen people talk about like John Morant, Russell Westbrook, D Wade. I mean, what makes him so special, and then how do you try to defend against him?
Well, he's a terrific athlete. He's a world-class athlete. So when you hear those comps to those guys, it's because of the athleticism. Those guys, when you talk about a Westbrook or a Morant, there's good athletes, and then there's what you call like freak athletes, and he's in that top percent athletically. He's got a burst of speed, and he's got a quickness at 6'5" with some length. So, and he's gotten better. I thought last year at times he kind of got sped up. I think he's done a really good job this year of kind of picking his spots a little bit better, learning when to attack, when to shoot, when to find guys. He's maturing as a player. Obviously, he's well coached. Those guys do an awesome job, but he just is. You look at him. He looks the part. Of those long, electric, athletes that are just constantly putting pressure on the defense. So I think that's why you get those comparisons, is because of the athleticism.
We're here to the middle and to the back.
Stefanovic killed you guys last time. I think he had 6 threes.
Yeah.
You guys played there. Only 1 3 today. 7 points, I think.
Yeah.
What did you change on him? How'd you do that?
Well, the last game we did a poor job in transition. They do a great job in the open floor of really finding him, and he gets a lot of transition threes. I thought we really did a good job. He got loose once in transition. Fortunately, he missed it. But where it was a breakdown. Other than that, all of his shots I thought were contested. He got the one out of the post that he made. We kind of got clipped on a little bit of a back screen out of the post. But overall, I just thought, we had an alert, heightened alert on him. He's a key guy for them, because with those other guys, now all of a sudden he starts getting loose. He makes 4, 5, 6 threes. You're just not going to beat those guys, if everything's working. So just thought we did a better job of kind of finding him, not getting him open looks, not letting him get started. He can get hot, and then when a guy like that gets hot, he can make tough ones.
Here to the right.
Coach Robbie was your leading scorer tonight in a season where Pete and Ryan have gotten a lot of positive press. What have you seen from Robbie, his development?
Yeah, well, we knew this game because of the way Purdue guards us. They don't like putting Edie on Pete, because of that matchup. So they had Edie on Robbie. They've done that the last few times that we've played them. So we knew coming into this game, Robbie was going to be key because we needed to kind of exploit that a little bit. We needed to get Edie out on the floor. I thought he didn't settle for just shooting threes. I thought he had some really good drives. And Robbie's a glue guy for us. He's a guy, he brings defense. He's 6'8", 6'9". We need his rebounding. We need his defense. We need his ability to make shots. And now when he's sprinkling in that attack, where he can, drive the ball to the basket and make a play, you're seeing growth there. So, obviously he's a lot of times, Pete, Boo, maybe a Chase kind of get, Ryan Young get a lot of the attention, but Robbie's a super important part of our team, and when we're playing well, usually it's because he's doing a good job for us.
A couple more questions up here to the left.
I'm sorry, I walked in a little late.
Yeah, sure.
Was Ryan okay? I don't think he came back after that hand thing.
Yeah, no, I think he just got hit in the funny bone,
Okay.
So his hand just kind of went numb, so it's just, that's a weird feeling. If any of you guys have been hit,
Yeah.
on that spot, your arm kind of goes dead. It was scary though, because you look out there and I mean he's such a big part of our team and his hands kind of dangling and you fear for the worst at that point. But fortunately it was just kind of a hit on that bone there and he was able to come back and he's going to be fine moving forward.
You mentioned Edie a little bit. Like, how hard is it to simulate that type of size? I mean, basically for your guys that are.
You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, unless I can find someone on campus that's 7'5". You guys, some of you students, is there anybody 7'5", 300 pounds that we can bring in to kind of simulate? And no, I mean he's a difference maker with that because you can't simulate it. You can try to prepare it, you can watch it on film, but just his sheer presence and give him credit. He's moving better. He's gotten better. He's keeping the ball high. He's becoming a better passer. So when you try to throw traps at him and things like that, he's a difference maker for sure. I mean they have a lot of them, but he's definitely a really tough guy to guard.
Another key guy for you guys tonight was Julian Roper, especially on the defensive front. Can you just talk about the spark that he brings to the team, especially in the starting lineup or just beyond that?
Yeah, he's just been getting better as the season's been going along. He just brings some things that we need out there. He's physical, he's tough. Gives you a guy defensively, where you don't have to always just put Chase, on that. Because tonight Chase is in foul trouble the whole night, and part of that is because he's guarding Ivy, so we could never really get him into a rhythm. So when you got a guy like Julian, we're grooming Casey as Casey gets more strength to his build with his athleticism and length. I think moving forward now with Chase, Casey, Julian, you got some guys that can really defend, on the perimeter. And he's emerging offensively. I thought he got some good looks tonight. Didn't shoot it as well, but I was glad he took them. We need him to take those open shots. And he's got a really, really bright future. I mean, I love having him on. He's just he's not someone that's going to be real flamboyant. He just kind of plays, but he brings a real toughness to the floor that we need.
Last question over here in the middle.
Coach, you kind of addressed about how you had some good shots tonight, especially from three. Just didn't go in. Obviously, that's a theme of a lot of losses for not just your team, but a lot of teams.
Sure.
Do you feel like there's anything else you guys can be doing on offense, just maybe to create more easy looks, especially at the rim? Because it feels like a lot of times, sometimes the game comes down to being dependent on are you guys hitting from three or not, and it's just hard.
Yeah, I think we've had pretty good balance this year, to be quite honest. I mean, Boo's attacking that basket. He's getting downhill. He's getting into the paint. I feel like, Pete has done a much better job of that this year where you can throw it into the post with him. Obviously, Ryan Young, when he's in the game, we try to get the ball into the paint. I thought he had some good looks tonight that he normally makes, over his left shoulder. But again, with that size and the way they rally to the ball, they were really, when you got it into the paint, they weren't giving up layups, so you got to make the play that's there, and I thought, I'll have to look at the film, but again, we want to drive the ball. We want to get to the basket. Really, you look at it, we did get, to the line, the free throw disparity. We got there 16 times. You're not going to get there 16 if you're not attacking, and trying to get the ball into the paint and going to the basket. So you can always do a better job of that, but there's also, we're playing against really good teams that are well schooled defensively, so their goal is to not, give up layups. And we don't have that, maybe that Kofi or that Hunter Dick, we don't have that one guy that's going to command, a double, triple team all the time. So we got to be a function of our movement, our cutting. When we're going well, we get a lot of cuts. We play out of the 5 out and we get back cuts and get guys to the basket and try to exploit areas there. But yeah, we got to do a better job. I mean, there's no question. I mean, I wasn't pleased tonight with the offensive output, and certainly I'll watch the film as well as the staff, and we'll try to put a little bit better game plan together for Saturday where we can be a little bit, function a little bit more better on that end.
All right, thanks everybody.
All right, thank you guys. Thanks for coming out.
everybody. We are joined by Robbie Barron to my left, and then Ryan Greer to my right. We will open directly up to questions.
Does that team you played tonight look like a true national title contender?
I think they're a really good team. They've got obviously two really good guys down low. Kind of sets the tone. They have some good guard play. Kind of push it in transition. Ivy is a one-man fast break. So I think they have a chance. Yes, sir.
You're in the middle.
Robbie, Coach just kind of said how he knew that coming into this game, Zach Edey was going to be guarding you a lot. Obviously, he's a dominant force on offense, but on defense, they thought they might be able to exploit a little bit, especially with pick and pops, leaving you open. Is that kind of like coming into this game, you thought, I need to make sure to take those shots when they're open and try and expose him a little bit on that, and maybe not expose, but just find a way to get him off the court, because obviously he's a very hard player to stop.
Just coming into the game, I think we had 2 pretty good days of prep. Just understanding that it's a team game. It's not one person that's going to just go for 60 and win the game. So I just try to take what was given, and then turn down one for a better one to my teammates. So.
Especially for the left.
If for either of you guys, Edey, you guys don't face anybody that tall. There's probably not that much length in college basketball. As players, you're used to going up against guys, but is that size just another level and hard to kind of get used to within the course of a game? Either one of you guys.
You go ahead, because he's guarding you most of the time.
I think you just have to approach it differently. If I'm guarding Greer, obviously he's a lot quicker than me, so it's how I approach, the matchup. With him, a high key is obviously, you got to come with force and really just try to dig the ball out. I don't know if that answers your question.
Ryan, what about you? Same sort of deal?
Yeah, obviously, like Robbie said, we try and stop him as a team. Offensively, I think you try and put him in situations that you can kind of put him in a bad spot, or take advantage of, like Rob said, his quickness against him. I thought we did a good job of that tonight, but that's kind of the main thing that you try and focus on, is how you can kind of manipulate the offense to put him in bad positions.
If I could ask one more quick one, Ryan, is that is that tough for you guys? You guys did a really good job on a couple of their key players with Jaden and Trevion having off nights, but the depth of their roster. Is that kind of impressive to see them get that type of scoring from down the roster? Tonight, I guess. It
is. It definitely speaks to their team of, like you said, how deep they are, but how many contributors they can have on any given night. So that's what makes them so dangerous. But it's definitely tough to play against.
Question on the right.
Robbie or Ryan, either of you can answer this. Playing back-to-back national title contenders like Illinois and Purdue, how can that help this team grow in this last 5-game stretch of the Big Ten season?
We've put ourselves in a position to win, or to be able to have a chance to win. Coach probably mentioned it a little bit. They just made a couple more plays than we did. So now it's just regrouping, getting back, diving into film, and getting ready. We still have 5 games left in front of us, so just one at a time, and go from there.
Middle finger.
You guys kind of touched on, you're both older leaders on this team now. What are going to be the points of emphasis for both yourselves and for the team going into these final 5 games?
I think just take it one step at a time. Like Robbie said, we've put ourselves in a position each and every game this year, we feel like. If we can keep building on that, we did a lot of things that were good in this game tonight, but some things that we can learn from. So if we can just take away and go in tomorrow and go into the next game with the same focus and the same kind of intensity as we would against this team tonight.
Oh, Ryan, it was you, Chase, and Jew who usually had Jaden Ivey as a defensive assignment throughout the night, and he had one of his worst games he's had all season. What do you think that you three especially did to throw him off?
I couldn't pinpoint one thing. I think everybody has off nights, but obviously we tried to make it tough on him. It was definitely a team effort. With everybody on their team, you got to stop him with 5 guys. Tried to stop him in transition, and just shrink the floor as much as we could. And I think it was effective tonight, make them take tough ones.
Question to the left.
In terms of prepping for him, what really jumped out at you guys? I mean, there's been so many really superlative next level comparisons, and there's a lot of talk that he could, be a lottery pick or something.
I think we just approached it like we didn't try and think about that. We just tried to approach it as a team, not one individual player, and really lock in on them with 5 guys. But they have so many other weapons as well, so that's what makes it tough to guard them. But definitely had to lock in on him.
Next question over to the right.
You guys talked about it with Zach Edey earlier, but now, facing Edey and Kofi last game, how do you, game plan or maneuver, facing those guys and trying to game plan around them?
I guess it kind of worked in a way, playing them back to back, because sometimes, say we play Illinois, and so we're up against Kofi, and then you go to like another team who doesn't have that presence inside. So there was a lot of parallels, just coverage scheme wise, like not to dive into it at all, but so there was some similarities that we took from game to game, and honestly I think we might have found something. I mean, obviously there's still work to do, but just trying to get better every day.
All right, thanks everybody.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.